Hey there, it's Mr. Tush. So we are going to take a look at assignment number 2.2. This is the I Have a Dream tutorial. Now, you're probably looking at me saying, Mr. Tush, why are you doing this weird hold the phone up circa like 2005 video where we're doing this reverse video and it's probably all wobbly because I can't even see what I'm looking at. And the reason I'm doing that is I wanted to go over how to use the equipment. I want you to be able to program on your own. This is going to be incredibly important when you're doing the Create project and a lot of the stuff that's really key to this class. So let's go over it together and stay with me. Let's rock and roll. First of all, let's look at where we are. We are on your lap. You will notice that I have pulled out a laptop just like the laptops you have. I have a tablet just like the tablets you have with a really bright reflection of my fluorescent lights, and that's what that is. Right over here, I have the green case, and you'll notice I have what we call the brick. You'll also notice that right here I have the wire. The wire kind of goes around right here, and it plugs right into it right there. So when you are not using the tablet with your computer, just plug it in using the brick and charge it nicely. Save it, keep it in your house in this handy dandy case, strapped in with these handy dandy little strips, and you will have a tablet for use right through the end of this. Now that's a little bit of an equipment overview. Now, this particular tutorial is a case of, I gave you a really easy one so you can learn how to use the textbook all by yourself. Right here, this is a YouTube video with Professor Wahlberg, and Professor Wahlberg does this whole thing where he interviews...
Professor Wahlberg from appinver.org.
You've heard it before. Watch it. It's cool. Then what happens is down here it gives you a tutorial on how to do part one. Now, you have to read the directions, and that's never been a popular thing, but if you read up here, it says, to get started, open the I Have a Dream starter project with the embedded tutorial and App Inventor. Wait, there's a tutorial file? Yes, there is. Go here. If you look here, you see where it says, this is the worksheet, this is the tutorial, right? This is the how to do it thing. This is the how to do it part. And then over here, I have this thing that says sign in Google accounts. That's where it gets a little tricky. This thing right here is the template, right here, wherever it says sign in. I hate the fact that I have to put it in that way, but I have to put it in that way. I put in the link so you have the template file. It will automatically load to your App Inventor as long as everybody's signed in. So I click on this, and away we go. It opens up App Inventor, and as a matter of fact, it just takes an extra second, and there it is. It pops in and says, I Have a Dream Starter. And it's actually called the starter. And look, it even gives you this really cool tutorial. So if you want to do this tutorial using this is the same Professor Wahlberg video, and it kind of has some demonstrations inside of it. But that is one way to do it. Now, before you get started, the first thing I want you to do is go to My Projects. See where it says My Projects? I don't normally work this way, but I want you to see how we do it, which says My Project and Save Project As. Save Project As is really important, and it's a little bit hard to see it. It says I Have a Dream starter copy. I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to have I Have a Dream, and I'm going to change this. I Have a Dream part, and I'm sorry to type so slowly, part one. See how I called it I Have a Dream part one? Woo, woo. That's how we do I Have a Dream part one. So you're going to do I Have a Dream part one, you're going to put that in there, and then you're going to go to OK. And now I have I Have a Dream part one. Now, it's kind of coming in, it's doing its save as, and here I am, still in here, I still have my tutorial, I'm still rocking and rolling. But wait a second, I don't have my tablet hooked up. That's the easy part. This is the beauty part. I'm gonna keep it tuned in here, and I'm gonna make sure they're both in the same network. So if you're working at home, just make sure that your Wi-Fi on your Chromebook, or sorry, your laptop is set up to whatever you're set up here. And then when you're on your tablet, if you swipe down right here from the top, it comes up, and hang on, you gotta go to swipe down from here, where it says this isn't where we're going, you gotta go swipe down there. That's where you gotta swipe down from. And you hit this thing called settings, so I'm gonna hit the settings right here, and when the settings come up, make sure it'll take a second to come in, but make sure your settings under Wi-Fi right here, you see where it says Wi-Fi, make sure the Wi-Fi is on, and make sure the Wi-Fi is also connected to the same network. HPS here is where I'm connected because I'm at school, and HPS here is where I'm connected. Hartford Public Schools is the same as HPS right here. So this one and this one are connected to the same network. That's going to be the key to making the companion work. I can't duplicate that exactly as you would see it at home. Sorry, I'm going to turn it around. I can't duplicate that exactly as you would see it at home because your network's going to look different. But make sure that your tablet and your laptop are hooked up to the exact same Wi-Fi network. And if you have one of those 2.4 and 5 choices, just make sure that both your laptop and your tablet are connected to the same 2.4 or the same 5. Make sure that you're doing it the same in both. As long as you're doing that, you're golden. Now, how do I know if it's going to connect? Well, I'm going to go over to this guy, and I'm going to actually get out of this because I don't need to be in this. And so to be able to change your app, you just hit the little thing there, and you make that go away. You make this go away. And I'm going to go right to my home screen. I'm going to go over to the side here. See where it says MIT A2 Companion. This is the App Inventor Companion. And that is how you get connected. And it says connect with QR code. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go to AI Companion right here. So I'm going to connect, and I'm going to say connect to the AI Companion. And I'm doing it, and it gives me this really cool QR code. Now I'm working with 2 hands here, so it may not be so great, but let me get out of that. Hang on a second, let me escape that so you can see what I did. I went over here, and I'm going to tap scan QR code, and I'll see if I can do that with one finger. I'm pretty impressed that I can do that with one finger. And then I just hit scan. And once that white thing comes up, I know it's scanning. Look, you see how it's scanning? Don't touch it. You don't need to tap it 500 times. You don't need to do anything crazy. Just let it load. It takes 30 seconds to a minute. But look at this. This and this is the same. Well, how do I verify that? Well, let's add something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make a change like I'm going to add a button. So I'm going to take this button, I'm going to drag it into the screen, just like that. And look, immediately it came up here. Text for button 1, text for button 1. It looks the same. What if I went over here and I changed the text for button 1 to say, to actually be empty? So I'm going to go ahead and erase all this information right in here, which you see I'm getting rid of, right? And then I'm going to click away so that we know it registers, right? And then look what happens. The text for button 1 goes away. And then I'm going to type in the word test over here, test. Oh, and it disconnected the companion. You know what? Sometimes that happens. And that does sometimes happen. Don't worry. I'm going to type in test, and it's going to disconnect it. So I put in test, and I'm going to type away, and it has test here. And nothing's happening here because it said it disconnected. Don't worry about it. What if it disconnects? Here's what you do. You go back here. You click reset connection. I'm actually glad this happens because this happens in class all the time. And I hit reset connection. I go back to my device. I go ahead and tap my device, and I'm going to reboot the companion app. I won't kid you, it's not the most stable in the world. Connect, AI Companion. I won't kid you, there are times that with these devices you have to reconnect a couple of times. I do the scan QR code just like I did before, and it finds the QR code, and hopefully it finds it, and it does it, and then I sit and wait, and it's coming up, and it's loading, and should be loading. Take a second, and now I should get my button that says test, so my button should say test, and I look over here and my button says test. So that's how you make sure they work. Follow the tutorial. The tutorial will take you through how to do the assignment. But this is a really important piece for being able to program all on your own. I hope this helps. Thanks so much for watching. You are the awesomest, best computer science students ever in the world. Don't tell anybody I said that. Talk to you later.